Hi everyone, it's Rachel, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how to make this kawaii whale inside a shell using polymer clay and UV resin. So let's get started. To begin, you want to select a suitable shell that your whale can go inside. You then want to take some blue polymer clay and roll it into a ball for your whale's body and just check to make sure that it fits nicely inside the shell. If it's too large or looking too small, you can go ahead and adjust the amount of clay that you are using. Next, take a light blue clay or even a white polymer clay and roll this into a teardrop on your work surface and flatten it down. And this is going to become the whale's belly. Gently lift the clay up from your work surface. You can see that I slid my blade underneath, and then you can attach this onto the whale's body. We are now going to be moving on to the face, so create 2 indents where you would like the eyes to go, and then you can add in 2 balls of black polymer clay. Add a small U shape of clay in the center for the mouth, and then also 2 pink pieces of clay on either side for the cheeks. Next, we want to create the fins, so start off with 2 balls of polymer clay and roll these into teardrops on your work surface. Use your blade to trim off the thicker part on an angle, and then these can get positioned on the sides of your whale's body. You can shape them how you'd like and curve them out a little bit more, and then to make sure that they're nice and secure and strong, use one of your tools to blend down the edges. To create the fountain of water coming out the whale's spout, take 3 balls of polymer clay. I'm using a color called Fimo Ice Quartz, which has a sparkly look to it. Roll each of these balls into a teardrop and then connect them together. And then take your whale and create an indent in the top of the body where the spout is going to be. This is where we're going to be adding in the fountain of water spraying out the top. Before I added in this clay, I did add a little bit of my liquid clay, which is Sculpey Bacon Bond, to help make it nice and secure and strong after baking. For my whale's tail, I decided to make it separate from the body. So here I have 2 pieces of polymer clay, and I'm shaping each half of the tail and then combining them together so that they almost look like a mustache. Once I had finished, it was then time to go ahead and bake my whale in my oven according to my package's instructions. The other part that I'm also going to be making out of polymer clay are the little rocks to add as a feature inside my shell. So I rolled some small balls of this grey granite polymer clay, and then I also baked these little rocks in my oven as well. Once all the clay has been baked, it is then time to move on to creating the water using UV resin. So here I put some on a sheet of baking paper, and then I'm just adding a tiny little bit of blue pigment at a time to get the color of water that I would like. I poured a small amount inside my shell, and then I spread it around so that it was a little bit more even. You can then take your polymer clay whale and position this inside the resin and cure this with a UV light, which I did forget to show on camera. Then, because the whale is separate on my design, I dipped it in some of the resin as well, and I'm just curing this at the back of the shell. So for the extra features, I have my little polymer clay rocks and also this fake grass to kind of look like some moss or seaweed. So to attach all these little pieces, I'm using my UV resin as a glue and my tweezers to carefully place everything on where I would like it. Then, of course, in between, I'm also curing these in place with my UV light. Then I'm adding the little pieces of grass. This was a bit fiddly because it did keep sticking to my tweezers and my toothpick, but I did get it looking how I originally planned. Then I placed the whole design under my UV light to give the resin a really good cure. As always, if you would like to glaze the whale and make him nice and shiny, you can do so, and I'm using, of course, UV resin for this as well. So here is what the finished whale shell design looks like once it's completely finished. I'm really happy with how this turned out, and I love making these kinds of designs where I'm able to combine mixed media like polymer clay, resin, and also some natural elements like the shell as well. If you enjoyed this tutorial, please don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel for lots more crafty videos, and I will see you next time. Bye guys.